Good morning and welcome again to another Making Mondays Matter. I trust that you had a wonderful weekend and last week was good to you. You're making good progress as we all together enter into this new year 2023. I am Coach David, and this morning I just want to spend a little time looking at the topic of taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. Taking responsibility involves owning the consequences of our actions. Whether these consequences are positive or negative, taking responsibility means that we have opted to own whatever the outcome is and respond to them appropriately. It is often easy to own the positives, but sometimes want to reject the negatives. We live in an age where when things aren't going right, we look for a scapegoat. We look for someone else who we can voice that responsibility on, or label or brand with the consequences of it. But I want to say to us, if it is something within our domain, especially for those of us who may own our own businesses, then remember that our actions have consequences. And if there's something that you have done or contributed to that resulted in a response that is unfavorable, then deal with it. Uh, for those of us who may be working in sales, sometimes things don't always go right. Deal with the negative outcome as soon as possible. Trying to wish it away or voice it upon someone else does you no good in the long run. And so let's deal with those things that fall under our preview. Let us be accountable, not just to those that we serve, but accountable to ourselves. This is all of what taking responsibility involves. Going out and doing what needs to be done, correcting what needs to correct, taking action where action needs to be taken. And let's bring it to a personal level. There oftentimes, and those of you who have been following me for a little while know that I like to speak about things that relate to our own good health and well-being. And there are many persons who may be living unhealthy lifestyles, maybe not eating right, not getting enough sleep, trying to manage too much stress. And oftentimes we want to shift the responsibility of these things to someone else. Now let's look at health. If you know you were a bit unfit, the responsibility is yours to adjust your life and your schedule to give yourself that space to get the exercise that you need, to plan your meals, your meal time more consistently, to make sure that you get enough sleep. That is your responsibility, regardless of what is happening around you, regardless of the demands of life. It may be more difficult for some than others, but it still is your responsibility. And ignoring it can have dire consequences upon you. And so as we go into this week, as we go into the remainder of this year, let us take responsibility. Let us do what needs to be done. And when the outcome is not as favorable as we would want it to be, let us do then what is required of us to make things right, to turn it around. It helps also with our relationships with others. It also shows us a sense of maturity when we take responsibility for our actions, when we own the consequences for the things that we have done. So until next Monday, let's go out, be the best that we can be, own the consequences of our actions. Let us take responsibility. This is David Ince for Living Successfully Inc. For another Making Mondays Matter. For those of you joining me on my YouTube channel, I just want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps with the algorithm. It helps others to see this content. Also share it with those that you know may benefit from it. And until next Monday, Have a wonderful week.